Good morning. It's Tuesday, January 30th, and there are many things going on in the world. But for the first time, I'm prepared to say that we are definitely at war. We are at war in the Middle East. And the other day, U.S. service members were killed at a U.S. outpost in Jordan by a drone attack. And not only were 3 American service members killed, more than 30 others were wounded. And this is the first time that U.S. troops have been killed by enemy fire in the Middle East since the start of the war between Israel and Hamas. And President Joe Biden has vowed to retaliate after this deadly attack. Now, we are still gathering the facts in this case, but we know it was carried out by a radical Iran-backed militant group, a group that is operating in Syria and Iraq. And of course, Iran has denied any involvement. On top of this, a growing number of countries, including the U.S., are cutting off funding to the main UN agency in Gaza, following allegations that staff members were involved in the October 7th Hamas attacks on Israel. So that's a side issue, but that's what's going on in that part of the world. And we should not be kidding ourselves, and we should not have ever tried to renew the nuclear deal with Iran. And we stupidly, under Biden's management, returned to the table at the Iran nuclear deal and gave some funds back to Iran. And I want to say the one good thing that Mr. Trump did was get us out of that nuclear deal. I was against that nuclear deal from the day that Obama declared it was going into action. These people in Iran are not to be trusted. And I'm not talking about the general population. I'm talking about the government. I'm talking about them funding organizations like Hamas and Hezbollah and ISIS. We cannot survive on all the different fronts that we are confronted with right now and having our own internal problems. We don't need to be in the middle of a war. We don't need to be out in the Red Sea defending merchant ships and things like that. And I say we don't need to do that like we could withdraw. We can't withdraw. We are in a position where we must defend ourselves and we must defend our allies. And maybe we really have to formally declare war and unload on these countries in the Middle East. And there will be many out there that say we will be running to the defense of Israel. But that won't be true. We're being attacked on all fronts. We have troops all over that region. Why would we need troops all over that region? Because that region is a dangerous place for democratic countries. In any event, Joe Biden vowed on Sunday to hold those people responsible for the attack to account. Right now, he said we are gathering the facts, but we know that this attack was carried out by radical Iran-backed militant groups operating in Syria and Iraq. And he said these service members embodied the very best of our nation. They were unwavering in their bravery, unflinching in their duty, unbending in their commitment to our country, and they were risking their own safety for the safety of their fellow Americans, for the safety of our allies, for the safety of our partners, and we must stand in the fight against terrorism. That's a lot for Biden to say. And he continued, he said, have no doubt we will hold those responsible to account at a time and in a manner of our choosing. So we in the U.S. are going to investigate this and then hopefully punish severely those who continue to attack us using subsidiaries. Not directly. Iran doesn't come out and attack us. They have these subsidiaries like Hamas and Hezbollah and ISIS that they set up to attack so that they, the nation like Iran, can stand back and say, we didn't do anything. What a load of crap. And so Iran has attempted to distance itself from the attack, calling accusations of Iranian involvement baseless. But anybody that believes that bullshit is not paying attention to what's going on around the world. And Iran went on to say that we believe the region does not need more tension or a new war. No, they don't need that. So why doesn't Iran step up and cut their activities associated with Hezbollah and Hamas? Why doesn't Iran step back and rid themselves of these insidious organizations? They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. And the worst thing that we ever did in this country was attempt to create a nuclear deal with Iran. So Iran was carrying on that they didn't know anything, they didn't do anything, they were innocent people. But meanwhile, the Islamic resistance in Iraq, which is an umbrella group of a number of Iran-backed militias in the country, admitted in a statement Sunday that it attacked a number of targets along the Jordan-Syria border, including the camp that was attacked where the 3 Americans died. The camp is in close proximity to the outpost. So that statement, posted to the Islamic Resistance Telegram channel, came before the U.S. announced the death of 3 service members. So maybe if they knew they had killed 3 people, they wouldn't have been so quick to tell the truth. But meanwhile, they're out there, and Iran is denying everything. And we stupidly have tried to sit down and make deals with them instead of cutting them off entirely and never giving them their money back. That's a Friday. There have been more than 158 attacks on U.S. and coalition forces in Iraq and Syria. These attacks have not been successful. Their drones and their rockets and their missiles, and they've been fired into the regions, and they have frequently caused some damage, but no serious injuries and no major damage. But why do we put up with this shit? Why do we allow anybody to continue to fire missiles and drones and everything at us? We are sitting here like pansies. This is not the way that we should be in that region. If we're going to let people just attack us constantly, then what are we doing there? Why do we have troops and outposts in so many regions in the Middle East if we are not effectively going to defend ourselves? We're sitting there like sitting duck and constantly under attack. But we accept that. Why? Is it so important? Is that region of the world so important to us? I think we have to take actions against that entire region. Now, the problem is we don't have any allies in that region except for Israel. We have people that talk a good game, but they're not prepared to do anything. Saudi Arabia and those countries are not going to do anything. So we need to get our ass out of there, or else we need to show a tremendous amount of, and I can't answer what the solution should be. It's just a mess, a monumental mess. So have a great day. Bye.